Sorry. Yes, sir. What's going on?
What up?
Matt here.
Yeah, and I'm Matty Wills.
Welcome to another edition of Matt in Matt Sports, where we talk about all things going on, Cleveland sports and beyond.
You already know, man. I hope everybody had a great week, better than the Tribe's last few days. Of course, I'll get into a little bit of that later on. But has big week in sports. NBA announced some NBA or some basketball Hall of Fame. They inducted some basketball Hall of Fame folks, I should say. And I'm sure we'll get into that. I'm really not sure if the Browns, was there any major news in Cleveland Browns world? I know we always get to that.
Yeah, it was major news, man. The rookie mini camp happened over the weekend. We got to hear
major news for the football nerds,
from the rookies. We signed a few of our rookies are under contract now, and so we moving right along in the process of building a team the right way. So we got a chance. We saw the press conferences from Newsom and JOK. And we got to hear, we got to get to know it. He got to get to know a couple of our top rookies. Of course, some of the ones on the back end, we got to dig in a little more to know a little bit more about them. But yes, I'm loving what I'm hearing. And Newsom, who spoke on, and I don't know if you saw this week that Myles Garrett put out a few workout videos. Did you see Myles Garrett working out on the videos this week?
I must have missed Myles working out, man. I know that's
you missed it.
I'm sure it's pretty viral
because Myles was doing some stuff, man.
Was
and
he flipping tires over,
looking like a freak of nature with his shirt off. I don't want to be one of them guys on the TV gushing over another dude, but Myles Garrett is looking like he's ready to come back stronger than ever, and he has impressed upon the rookies, especially, in particular, Newsom, who we drafted in the first round, who is just ecstatic to be working with a guy like Myles Garrett because he knows that makes his job easier. He even admitted if a guy like Myles is going to cause him to have to step his game up in the workouts leading up to games, and he knows that having a Myles Garrett means that he's not going to have to cover receivers as long, which is key. See, people don't understand the dynamics of what one player can do to affect another player. And when you're a cornerback and you're out there on an island, receivers can get open because you don't know where they're going. You don't know what direction they're going to go in because you just have to be able to kind of mirror them.
Right.
But when the quarterback doesn't have time for receivers to get their moves off, that makes a huge difference. That makes it easier for the cornerback to do his job. So Newsom, who we'll see how this goes when the veterans come in and his training camp, and if he can elevate to being one of the starters or just a contributor, period. So
I got a funny feeling by the time we get through preseason, just based on, Greedy's injury history now. Newsom, I know he was, he played a lot of nickelback in college, and I'm sure that we'll feature him there a lot because he was like a specialist at it. But he might crack into that top two, man. He might crack into that top two in terms of DBs. More to your point about what you were saying about how Myles can make his job easier. Any team defense in the NFL would love to be able to not have to blitz. And when you got a Myles Garrett, and now we added Jadeveon Clowney, if we can get pressure with that front four and not have to blitz at all, then you have the rest of your defensive team is just playing in coverage. That makes their job easier as well. So, Myles contracting COVID-19 in the middle of the season, I think had a lot to do with, he was on track for possibly being Defensive Player of the Year before that happened. So, him getting over that and not having to deal with that, hopefully this next season, could be nasty. Could be nasty for them Browns, man.
And I know a lot of people always say, okay, we got Jadeveon Clowney, but they forget to mention that we also signed Takk McKinley. And they also forgot to mention Malik Jackson. And they also forgot to mention the other, it's not just about Jadeveon Clowney being signed. It's about these other veterans that are coming in to contribute as well, and the young rookies. So we've retooled this defense. There's gonna be a lot of new faces on defense, so we'll have to see how that pans out early on in the season. With them coming in and learning Joe Wood's system and all learning to work as a cohesive unit. And so we hope that takes off week 1 as we have to see the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's the other big news that came out with the Browns, the freaking schedule, man.
Oh yeah. I took a Sunday afternoon nap, man. You are absolutely right. I know one thing that we did forget to mention. We do encourage all of the comments and we appreciate you guys. And shout out to Kathy all the way from Nova Scotia, Canada. Woo! That's the only place I've been internationally.
Come on, Canada. Kathy.
So shout out to
I love her last name, Boudreaux. What's up, Miss Boudreaux? I just want to say that. Boudreaux.
Of course, Ozzy, Rob, we see y'all, man. Mystery Todd, we appreciate y'all checking in with us every week as well.
Todd, we got Robo Studs Mix 'em up in here. What up? Shout out to everybody. Make sure you leave your comments. Why is he saying I love Atlanta?
Hey,
why are you saying that?
Shout out to ATL, man. I don't know. Maybe you know what? I'll ask you off. I'll ask you off air why he's saying that.
So yes, the Browns schedule came out. So we found out who we already knew who we were playing.
Right.
But we didn't know when we'd be playing them.
I gotta say, I looked at the schedule. You posted it, I looked at it. I see a lot of wins on the schedule, man. I know things don't always play out the way we think they're going to play out, and we're still several months away from actual football being played. But I seen a lot of wins on that schedule, man. I don't think we have a tough schedule. Yeah, you go ahead and talk. Let me pull it up in another tab so I can be right there with you.
Well, let's start week 1. Since you say we don't have a tough schedule, we start off with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the consensus best team in the AFC. You know what I mean? Yes, they made it to the Super Bowl last year. Yes, they have Patrick Mahomes. Yes, they have an explosive offense. But we literally went toe to Patrick Mahomes' toe with them in the divisional round of the playoffs, and we only lost by 5 points. Now, for the people that are non-believers that don't think the Browns are close, because I've been listening to a lot of analysts that say, they just automatically think we're gonna lose game 1. And I mean, it's kind of important for us. I don't know, how do we want to start this year off? Because we haven't won opening day in so long. I can't even remember the last time we won the first game of the season where we didn't start out 0-1. And I don't, if you lose to the Kansas City Chiefs,
it's almost like a pass. It's almost like a pass, man.
And so we'll see you again in the playoffs if that happens. But if you beat the Kansas City Chiefs, then there's a whole nother heap of expectations placed on the team. And I'm just, with this team being so young, then I would hope that Kevin Stefanski could continue to, reel in the egos, reel in the buying into the press clippings and all of that type of stuff, and is continue to put in the work. But I mean, let's go through it, man. Let's you go ahead, say what you was gonna say. I'm pulling up the schedule.
I mean, I'll do it quickly because we got other things to get to. I know, but okay, if you consider the Kansas City game, we're in KC. That's gonna be a tough game to win, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and concede that game. Just ride with me. So I got us 0-1. Week 2.
Oh, here we go.
Week 2, to your point about, winning the first game of the season, the Browns also haven't won their home opener, which doesn't always fall on the first game of the season since who knows when. I don't even remember the last time. It's just, we always talk about how they never win their home opener. This year, I feel like the NFL literally gave us a break. We play Houston at home in our official home opener. Houston is all kinds of problems. Of course, we're going to smack them around. That's 1-1. We'll be at home against Chicago the following week. Don't believe in them. That's 2-1. At Minnesota, Minnesota is trash. 3-1. At the Chargers are trash. 4-1. At home against Arizona, this game could go any way, but I'm going to give it to the Brownies because we're at home. Like, I don't want to go through all of this, man, because I don't know how entertaining that is. But when you look at all 17 games, my calculations got the Cleveland Browns finishing at 15-2. Remember, we have an extra game this season. Starting this season, we're playing 17 games a year. 15-2, big dog. That's where I got us at, man. I know you are a forever optimist on the show. So what do you got us going? 17-0?
No.
Yes, Ozzy, Detroit is trash. They're gonna be big trash this year for sure.
But see, here's one thing I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna say we're gonna win because another team is trash. The San Diego Chargers are not trash. I disagree with you on trash. That. And no, they have a very good young quarterback who's compared to Patrick Mahomes. And what I'm saying,
Herbert.
Yes, Herbert is being compared to Patrick Mahomes. He's the only young quarterback in the league right now who's being compared to Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not sure what kind of dope they were smoking when they compared this dude to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, listen, man. Let's not, just because Patty lost in the Super Bowl, let's not act like this dude is not next level special.
I didn't mean to pull out your Patrick Mahomes.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I don't want to. Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes doesn't even sound crazy. That sounds wild.
And I don't want to hear you gushing over Patrick Mahomes right now.
Does he have an NFL MVP? Does he have a Super Bowl? Is he 25 years old? Does Justin Herbert have either of those things?
Are we going to talk about the Browns or the Kansas City?
I mean, we got to talk about the Indians. The Cavs too.
Robert Lanier Nath Sr. says he loves all of my Brown songs. Yes, I will keep them coming. You know what I mean? And the one I just did recently was about the schedule. And shout out to the Cleveland Browns for posting it on their Twitter and their Facebook pages. And it's like a dream, man. You know, I love the Browns so much, and now the actual Browns are actually fooling with me. And I know it's a lot of people like, hey, got to be tied to the Browns. No, I didn't have that connection yet. I'm trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? But let me go back to the schedule, which you try to talk about somebody is trash. Now, Houston Texans, yes, they're going to be trash.
Come on, big trash.
Okay, so we should win that game. Chicago Bears, I don't know what they're going to look like because they just drafted Justin Fields. And if Justin Fields can take the field.
When is the last time Chicago had an offense that scared you? Okay, let's move on, man. They're trash. They're going to be trash. They're not going to be able to score a lot of points this year. If you want to beat the Browns, you're going to have to be able to score points this year in the 30s.
Your chest is poked out. What I would say is that Chicago has always been known for their defense.
Yes.
Okay.
But never
They're
for their
not
offense.
a team that's been known for an explosive offense. I mean, a couple years when they had Devin Hester.
Let me ask you this.
Worry about guys like that. But back in the Jim McMahon days, it was more about the defense with the Refrigerator Perry and Dent, Richard Dent, and all of those guys. You know what I mean? They had world-class track guys on offense, Willie Gault at receiver. This is back when I'm just going back to the days when Chicago was actually a great
I'm with
team.
you.
You know what I mean?
Do you
Super Bowl with Rex Grossman? Go ahead.
Do you think that there's any team in the NFL that will be able to slow down the Browns offense for 4 quarters? I don't. You get Odell Beckham back. You get another year of that offense. I'm just. Okay, the teams on our schedule fall into that. They're all part of all of the teams out there, and none of them. Listen, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm you. I just don't feel like anybody's going to be able to slow us down this year.
Okay, so the Denver Broncos had a decent defense. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense suffered because they lost a key player, but they're always known to be formidable on defense. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to talk about the possibilities of a defensive team, you have the Ravens, who are.
I got us losing. You know what? Let me I got us losing to the Chiefs.
I'm gonna boo myself for even mentioning the Ravens because we dropped like 40 something on them the last time we played them. So I'm not.
We're gonna get them this year. We're gonna get them this year.
I think the only thing that can slow our offense down is for our play caller of the day not being in a groove. That's what could slow our offense down. Because
what do you mean?
Well, think about it like this. The last game we won, we played against the Pittsburgh Steelers and we thrashed them.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say that for any Pittsburgh Steelers fans who may be watching, we kicked their ass. And it was the second week in a row that we beat them.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, we destroyed them.
Mhm.
And it was a day where our head coach had to sit out due to COVID and watch the game, and he wasn't there to call the plays. It was Alex Van Pelt calling the plays. Then when Kevin Stefanski comes back in the divisional round against KC, not that we should be able to just jump on KC the same way we did Pittsburgh, but it just didn't seem as if our offense was as fluent as it was when we played against Pittsburgh. And I'm looking at the play callers.
I would
That's
say
the only difference I can look at that day.
Okay, you're not going to blame Kevin Stefanski for losing.
I'm not blaming him.
This is who we're going to blame. You ready? Rashard Higgins. Okay, you dropped the ball on the 1 yard line. You're going to halftime. Instead of, I think we would have had the lead at that point. Completely different game. You fumble and turn the ball over on the 1. You know who won't do that this season? Number 13. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say. We spend a lot of time on the Browns
because he's gonna get a play that happens exactly the same way with a guy coming and spearheading his arms.
Superstars don't
like
make
that's
them
just
play.
going to like we're gonna get to see whether or not Odell Beckham would have dropped the ball or not.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's a better player than Rashard Higgins, who everybody in Cleveland wanted to make sure we re-sign. Oh, the great Rashard Higgins, don't let him out of Cleveland, our great third-string wide receiver. Let's not let him get anywhere. Who dropped the ball in the second quarter of the biggest game of last season on the 1 yard line, I might add, on the 1, and completely foiled our chances at advancing. That's who I blame. I'm not going to blame Kevin Stefanski, who called the plays on all the other great games that led us into the playoffs, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. You blaming coach, man. I don't like that. Come on,
I didn't
man.
blame anyone. I said there was a difference between how the offense flowed against Pittsburgh versus against KC. Do you remember the drive that we had against the Kansas City Chiefs? Because that play you're talking about, sir, happened before halftime.
Yeah.
We had
momentum changer.
We had plenty of opportunities to win that game after that play happened. Plenty.
You could probably put most of the blame on that last drive. I mean, not probably. You put all of the blame on that last defensive drive when we knocked Patrick out the game. And then we couldn't stop the other dude, Chad Henne or whoever the hell that was.
We already talked about the game.
Yeah.
Not reminisce about that. It's about the future, and we are pumped. I even made a video for the joint. Well, I should have had that queued up so we could have played it right now.
Yeah.
For the schedule. Because, come on, man. The Browns are on an uptick.
So what's your number, though? Give your number.
I don't do that, man.
We're doing a sports show.
Not doing that. No, I don't. Yes, we are doing a sports show.
All right.
That doesn't mean that I have to give a number.
Every other year, he's predicted an undefeated season. Now we got all these.
I have never predicted an undefeated season. But I will say we should beat teams like Houston. We should,
even Chicago.
Arizona Cardinals. We should be able to handle that game. Though Kyler Murray is a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If Pittsburgh doesn't, if Denver doesn't get their quarterback situation together, we should beat them. The Pittsburgh Steelers. We already know what we can do with them.
To me, the Packers game in Green Bay late in the season, that's going to be a tough game on Christmas Day. I might add.
Without Aaron Rodgers?
If Aaron Rodgers is not there, if Aaron Rodgers is there,
Aaron Rodgers gave us a Christmas gift. Because if he's not going to be playing,
right? Absolutely,
I don't have
zero. That's why the only two teams,
Packers.
The only two teams I'm concerned with are the Chiefs. Of course, you have to be concerned with the Chiefs, and then Baltimore, your old, your homage city. We got them. Week 12 off week 13, week 14.
Vegas Raiders.
No, absolutely not. They don't have a quarterback.
They beat us last year.
But last year was our coming out party. This year, everybody's been here now. As I try not to lose the stream. Everybody's been here now. We're building on last year, and our defense was not great last year, right? We added a bunch of pieces on that side of the ball this upcoming season. They're going to be a lot better. So a lot of those iffy games, a lot of those, weird weather games, I feel like we're going to be smooth sailing through a lot of that stuff. I know we got some other things to get to, bro. We've been talking about the Browns for 22 minutes, which always freaking happens. But
So
it is what it is.
man? It's more about the Cleveland. What are we going to talk about? The Cavs?
Well, the
Did you
NBA
did you see the
playoffs
standings? They're eliminated from
No, we're
playoff
not
contention.
talking about the Cavs. Listen, congratulations to the Cavs. They played hard this season, but there is some NBA news we got to get to. I mean, there were a couple of some of our era. Well, I'll say mine. We're kind of two different eras. Some of my era's biggest basketball names received the highest honor over the course of this weekend, making it, of course, into the NBA Hall of Fame. And who we shouting out has, of course, we seen, you know, I'm sure you saw the lovely speech by Vanessa Bryant for her late husband, Kobe Bryant, who got in. And then Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Chris Bosh, Paul Pierce, Bill Russell. This one confused me a little bit. He played on a great team. Not Bill Russell, of course not. But he played on a great team. Ben Wallace was inducted into the Hall of Fame as well. I mean,
Ben Wallace made the
Ben
Hall
Wallace.
of Fame?
He's in the Hall of Famer. I think he has a career average of like 7 points a game or something like that. I don't know. The dude never could shoot a basketball.
Well, let's just
defensive specialist
Ben Wallace because he used to be a Cleveland Cavalier.
Was a Cleveland
for
Cavalier.
A little bit of point, and so congratulations to him.
Also, Chris Webber, who was my favorite player one time, also
really
made it into the Chris Webber when he played with the Kings. Come on, man, that was a hell of a team, man. But they could never get to the finals because of Kobe Bryant.
I got to say about Chris Webber.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was also let go by TNT a couple days before he was inducted into the Hall of Fame as well. So they said he never connected with his audience.
Get a TO on that Chris Webber, man. But I mean, you know,
Kobe, I just wanted to get that in, man.
Obviously, Kobe stole the spotlight, and Tim Duncan, in true fashion, you didn't hear much. Nobody talked too much about him when he was playing, and you still took a backseat to Kobe at the Hall of Fame inductions. You know what I'm saying?
Rodney Miller slightly disagrees. He says, "Are you serious? Rodman and Wallace are needed in Hall of Fame for real. Defense was soul of the '90s." I mean, I will give you that. I will give you that. But you know, it's the NBA, man.
I didn't know.
Little razzle dazzle.
This is the first
I'm
time.
not mad at Ben Wallace. I was
Rodney
a little surprised.
Miller. Why are you trying to come with Rodman and Wallace in the same sentence?
I'm not mad at that comparison. I'm not mad at that comparison. Ben Wallace has had those weird stat line games where he scores 3 points but grabs 22 rebounds, and we all know Dennis Rodman. That's how he lived around the block like that, getting those rebounds. I'm not mad at that comparison. I just don't, you know, Ben Wallace. He has the one championship. I don't know how many All-Star games he made. You know, he was a great defensive player, superb defensive player, great rebounder.
Put him in the same sentence as Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, I think they're a little more comparable than you're willing to believe right now.
The same level tier player as a Dennis Rodman.
I would take Dennis in his prime. Well, actually, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dennis in his prime was a nasty dude, literally and figuratively.
Even after his prime, he's a nasty dude.
Right.
Go ahead.
But Ben Wallace kind of had. I'm saying he's kind of in that same mode. I'm not mad at that comparison at all from Rodney Miller. We appreciate the comment as well.
All right, Rodney, you telling us something. Pull up the stats.
You're telling
he made the Hall of Fame, so the stats must be there. I just didn't know Ben Wallace was that dude like that. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm tripping. Somebody bringing up.
So
Steph
real
Curry.
quick before we wrap,
Steph Curry hit 9 threes today. He on a tear.
Just because that he brought up Steph Curry, the play-in games are set for the NBA. Yeah. You know, they got that one game playoff for the 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Are the Lakers in the play-in game?
The Lakers, so they're set in the East. They're not set in the West. Here's the deal in the West. The Lakers and the Blazers both play at 9 o'clock tonight, right? If the Lakers win and the Blazers lose, then the Lakers are the 6th seed. They avoid the play-in game, and Portland is in the play-in game. If everything stands as it is right now and the Lakers win and the Portland wins, or the Lakers just lose, then right now, Steph Curry and LeBron James play in one play-in game. And in the 9-10 seeds, I would have to go look. I lost track of that. But
listen,
the Lakers can be in that game if they're not careful.
The Lakers in that game.
Why?
I need the Lakers in that game.
Why?
Because LeBron James spoke so adamantly against being in the play-in game. He said whoever came up with that should be fired.
I think it's dumb.
Curry was like, and Steph Curry, on the other hand, was like, I love the opportunity.
Of course he does, because they don't have a chance without it.
They definitely got a chance because he hits threes ridiculous. So What I'm
He's
saying
been going
is
nuts too.
because LeBron said that who should be fired then? Adam Silver? Who was he talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you don't want to be in the playing game, then you're gonna be in the playing game, okay, sir? You know,
It's not LeBron's fault they're in the playoff,
but at the same
playing
time,
game.
you know, LeBron's an outspoken guy. So if you end up in the player in game after you spoke so adamantly against it, then you better freaking win. That's all I'm saying. People think that the Lakers constructed with a healthy roster are going to be in the NBA finals. They're going to have to get through the play-in game first. And I hope that happens. I pray.
Look, if the Lakers stay in the seeding that they're in right now and they win against Golden State and secure the 7th seed in the playoffs, they got to play Phoenix without home court advantage in the first round. I mean, it's no cakewalk for those Lakers to get there. And I know the difference of LeBron and Chris Paul in the playoffs. It is what it is. But the fact of the matter is Phoenix has won over 50 games this year. Chris Paul is an MVP candidate this year. They got a young superstar, and that ain't going to be no cakewalk for the Lakers, even if they survive the three-point show that is Stephen Curry right now, who is the best player in the league as of right now. That boy is just going nuts, man. He's
for the
going
light
stupid.
skins. I see you. But all I'm saying is it would be another – but the thing is, it would be another thing that LeBron overcame, and it would add to his legacy. If LeBron had to get through the first ever play-in game and take his team to the finals, this just come on, man. This just puts a lot more on his legacy than he could have imagined. If
he goes to the finals, it's nuts. Let me ask you this quick hypothetical before we close with
what
our
Rodney Miller is saying.
It's going to be a different playoffs, but we know the West and the East Conference finals are going to be the teams who play defense and half-court offense. Shooting never matter in the playoffs. I agree and disagree with that because if Brooklyn gets there, they don't play any half-court defense.
Shooting always matters. I don't care what you're talking about. The ball got to go in the basket, right?
Yeah,
you got to get some points on the board, right?
I agree with what he's saying in the sense that in the NBA playoffs, the game slows ways down and it turns more into a half-court game. I agree with that, but there's an X factor game.
And
in
Steph
Brooklyn
pull
right now.
From the logo. When Steph is pulling from the logo, keep on with your half-court game, okay? When Steph come down, hit another 3 versus your 2 in your half-court offense.
I bet the NBA. I don't think that the NBA is thrilled about not having Steph and LeBron in the playoffs. If there was no play-in game, they were both at least to get a whole round. I don't think that they're thrilled about the possibility of LeBron and Steph, or the both of them not being in the playoffs together. I think that's the miss on the NBA. But it is what it is. It's the rule. It's a result in a roundabout way to COVID-19. Let's get to our feature, bro.
Our feature tonight, we bringing it back, and I love it. Matter of fact, let's just start it off with the intro. Oh, damn it.
Yeah,
hold on, sir.
Put that up, man.
I wasn't all the way ready. That's my fault.
All right, man. While you getting that together, I will say this.
I got you right here. Come on.
Okay.
Let's
go. Out of here. Get the f 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 out of here. Get the f. Get the f. Get the f. Get the f out of here.
Yeah. It's GTFOH. Maddie, you got somebody you want to tell to GTFOH right now?
Yeah, so we've been doing Mad Matt Sports for a long time, and one of our features used to be called GTFOH, and I think everybody out there knows what that stands for. And my get the out of here this week goes to actually one of my favorite rappers in the game, the one and only J. Cole, who dropped an epic album on Friday called The Fall Off. If you haven't heard it, I don't know what you're sleeping on. 1 through 12, fire, the whole 9. But what he got to get the F out of here on is this professional basketball career, okay? We haven't heard from J. Cole since his his infamous summer of features a couple of years ago, right? When he was just on everybody's song and he was going crazy. Now we've seen this dude. His LA Leakers freestyle was epic and legendary, but I've never seen a musician actually turn into a professional athlete, all in the name of promoing his album. Bro, we was gonna listen to your album anyway, man. Nobody cares. He scored 3 points in 17 minutes playing for whatever team he plays for over in Africa. I mean, he's putting some spotlight on the African Basketball League over there. I love that. But you playing professionally, J. Cole, I'm sure there's a more qualified and more deserving athlete out there that could have used that roster spot. So, J. Cole, I love your album, but this week you got to get the out of here, man. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. That's it. I love the album, though. Check it out.
So, J. Cole.
Get the out of here.
Okay, so listen, man. Who I would love to tell to
Get the out of here.
is anybody who thought that it was a good idea for the Browns to trade with Green Bay to get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
All I can say on that is
Get the out of here.
ain't no way that I'm about to give up everything we would have to give up. See, Matt, can I ask you real quick before I go into
Yeah,
my
J.
thing?
Cole's album is called The Off Season. I don't know why I call it The Fall Off. That was one of his songs. My
Yeah, 'cause
bad.
you don't know what you're talking about. But as far as the that whole thing that was Aaron Rodgers, heard about it all the time. What was your take on this conversation?
The NFL, I mean, well, it's not even on the NFL. You know, sometimes in these off seasons, people get so bored that they just got to talk about something.
But what I want to
And
know is, did you agree or disagree
no,
with the idea that the Browns, because we were the only team in the media that they were talking about trading for Aaron Rodgers. They didn't really talk about too many other teams. They may have mentioned Miami, they may have talked about Denver, but
I
the
think
headline
Denver
was
is the
always
consensus.
about the Browns trading Baker Mayfield, ship Baker Mayfield off and bring Aaron Rodgers in. And then you have people talk about, so then let me just
no. To answer your question directly, no. I thought that was a stupid, potential trade offer or whatever. Trading anything for a 36-year-old quarterback, to me, is not the brightest idea, especially when you're a team that's on the up like the Browns are. No, we have something that we can sustain long term, I believe, and doing anything to just try to capture something right now with Aaron Rodgers wasn't a good idea to me.
right. So, but then the conversation goes to this. Then people say this, and let me say this, and let me make it clear in this conversation, because saying that I wouldn't want to do it does not mean that I'm saying that Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback
Right.
than Aaron
not.
Rodgers.
Right.
No, I'm not saying that. But Baker Mayfield hasn't had a chance
Right.
to become a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers yet. He's at the beginning of his career, basically. He's on the earth. He hasn't even done it. He's not even done his rookie contract.
Right.
So trying to compare him to Aaron Rodgers is just unfair. And it's just, but then think about it like this. This is not fantasy football. This is not John Madden video game football. You're not just going to take a player with a 90-something rating, take them and put them on another team, and they're
Right.
just going to perform the exact same way. It doesn't work like that in the real world. When you have to come to a team and get on the same page as the coaches, learn a whole new playbook and get in sync with your receivers and your offensive line and your center and everything else that goes around it. You just think that Aaron Rodgers can just walk into Cleveland. We're doing our things our way right now. So why would we want to disrupt that by bringing in Aaron Rodgers, he's a great quarterback. I don't deny his skill, but you denying Baker's skill when you say that. You're
And
acting as if Baker Mayfield is Jared Goff or somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're acting as if we have a scrub at quarterback.
Right.
When you say things like this.
Right.
This is a team that went 11-5, won their first playoff game in since 94. First playoff appearance since the early 2000s. Can we keep this going? Don't you want to see where this goes? You'd rather be like I get it. Since they started calling them Super Bowls, we've never been to one. We don't have a Super Bowl victory.
We
And
do
that's
have
something that
championships,
A lot
though.
of other teams can hang over our heads when they talk trash. Y'all ain't never been to a Super Bowl. I get it. but I'm not selling my soul for one Super Bowl trophy. I'm not gonna do it. I want one. I want to be like LeBron. I want 1, 2. What did he say when he was going to Miami? When he's taking his talent down?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not 3, not 4, not 5.
It's part of the reason why I hated that dude for like 3 years. I didn't get back to being a LeBron fan until year 4 in Miami. I was done with him. But
I'm saying this is what I want from the Cleveland Browns. I don't want a one and done Cleveland Brown team. I don't want to just have a flash in the pan team. I want this team to compete for years to come. I would love to see them be a top team for the rest of my life. And that's not really too much to ask because they were a terrible team for most of my life. So it's and the Pittsburgh Steelers, you may not know the history of them, but they were terrible as their towels their first 30 years in existence. I'm talking about 30 years of suckiness before they ended up eventually getting good in the 70s. You know, the majority of the Super Bowls that they talk about were won in the 70s. How long ago was that? It was a long time ago. I just always like to dig at Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I like to tell Pittsburgh Steelers fans,
Get the out of here.
you know what I'm saying? So anybody who thought that it would be a good idea to trade for Aaron Rodgers, what you're not thinking about is that we're not just going to swap quarterbacks. We're going to have to give up future draft picks. We're going to have to give up maybe players that play
other assets
right now.
Right.
In order to get Aaron Rodgers. You think Green Bay is just going to trade you Aaron Rodgers for Baker Mayfield? No. It's not going to happen. And I don't want it to happen because I believe in Baker Mayfield. You
do, as you have in every Browns quarterback here in the last 20 years, or at least since we started doing this show. And I will say this, the way that they call games and protect, I'm talking about the referees and the rules they have to protect these quarterbacks. I mean, I know Tom Brady is everybody's go-to when you talk about how long your starting quarterback can actually play. He's an outlier. He's the GOAT, whatever. Aaron Rodgers is approaching 40 years old. Who's our guy that just
Tom Brady?
Who's our guy that just retired out of, from the Chargers? Drew Brees last year, but
Drew Brees retired. Philip
Rivers.
Retired.
All these guys are playing into their mid and late 30s, something that is possible now with the way that you can't touch a quarterback. So having, forfeiting Baker for the sake of having Aaron Rodgers anywhere for 2 or 3 seasons, it's not a smart move. So I agree with you, man. Anybody who wanted to move Baker and any other assets to get Aaron Rodgers here, who is disgruntled right now, can do exactly that.
Shall I say it again? Huh?
One for the road.
Okay.
Get the out of here.
All right. But I heard an interesting stat that was kind of made me curious. Like they showed a stat about Jerry Rice, who played into his 40s as a receiver. Mm-hmm. And after 40 years old, he had like over 1,600 something yards receiving after 40. There's no other player in the history that has done that. Any player there's only a couple players combined that don't even have a inkling of that amount of yards. You know why? Because those are quarterbacks that caught passes. There is no other receiver that ever played the game past 40 other than Jerry Rice and was productive. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing about
Ozzie.
You know what's up with Aaron Rodgers, though? As great as he is, he's only been to 1 Super Bowl.
That's a fact.
As great as he is, he couldn't get past Tampa Bay just a few months ago in the championship game. He's been in a few championship games. Aaron Rodgers, since you think Aaron Rodgers plus everything that Cleveland has equals a Super Bowl, it's not a guarantee. It doesn't matter who you have. NFL is hard, and you're not going to just win a Super Bowl just because of the players. It has to be a cohesive unit from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? And Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl to his credit.
And for what it's worth,
entire 16-year career.
And for what it's worth,
I want more than 1 Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
For sure. The Browns team isn't even really predicated on how good your quarterback is anyway. I mean, we're a run-first team, and we make kind of short, simple pass plays. It's not like we're asking Baker Mayfield to go out there and win the game with his arm. So I don't think that the Browns need necessarily an upgraded quarterback right now.
Can I ask you a question? When we talk about the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, do you ever hear the name Terry Bradshaw?
No.
Terry Bradshaw has how many Super Bowl victories?
4, I believe. Pretty good.
On that vaunted Super Bowl winnings caliber Pittsburgh team from
Terry
the 70s.
Bradshaw ain't Aaron Rodgers, though.
No, but what I'm saying is this dispels the idea that you have to have someone like Aaron Rodgers just to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that.
You got Terry Bradshaw, who will never be considered in nobody's top quarterbacks with 4 Super Bowl rings. Aaron Rodgers has 1. And congratulations to him for getting that 1. And the Green Bay Packers have been somewhat competitive because of Aaron Rodgers, but it hasn't translated into several Super Bowls the way it has for New England and Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers is not Tom Brady. I don't care that Aaron Rodgers is close to 40. He ain't Tom Brady.
No,
so
not.
There.
And he doesn't have a team like Tom Brady.
I'll say this to Aaron Rodgers.
Get the out of here.
I don't think that we can close this any more poetically than that. Though I will say this, because you always try to steal my love for the Cleveland Indians, man. They're on a tough road trip. They just lost 3 straight to Seattle, a team that is just now a game over 500 over the last 3 games. But the Indians are in 2nd place in the American League, in our division in the American League, and we're in 5th place in the total League of American League. I just botched that completely, man, because I tried to squeeze it all in. Shout out to the Indians is my point. Shane Bieber lost today.
Let me go ahead and put on my famous Indians cap, because I do rock for the Indians. That's that World Series cap right there.
5th best team in the American League right now, though. 5th. And nobody predicted that before the season started. Nobody nationally, nobody locally. So we're in 2nd in our division. But if the playoffs started today, we would have an opportunity to compete for a World Series. So shout out to the tribe. Terry Francona, he's a genius. If he was not here, we would probably be in last place. And that's what I got for the show today, man.
Right,
that's what I got.
I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and give my Indians some love again. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate everybody that checked in. Ozzy, Rodney, everybody that always comments.
All the comments. Appreciate all the comments. Rodney Miller has some great comments today. Of course, Ozzy always comes through. And everybody that rides with us every week, we appreciate it. We will be right back here next week.
Get the f out of here. Get the f out of here. Get the f out of here. Get the f. Get the f. Get the f.
Why you won't make